We are playing the Smash Brothers of the Superness. Check, check, check. Check, check, chickadee, check. Let's play some Smash Bros. Is this all on the same stream? No, it is not okay. All right, all right, all right. Oh, Jack's Logic. Hey, man, what's going on? I am currently just indulging in a little bit of Smash Bros. Playing. You're the little best. Ah, thanks, man. We're best on the musical front or the gaming front? Because I would consider we're not great at either, but we try our best. Don't you know? Also, if there's a character with whom you'd like to see me play, let me know, because I'm open to suggestions right now. Just gonna go online and get my ass kicked. Nothing? Nothing what? Solo play.
Solo battle.
Let's... Man, who am I terrible? With whom am I most terrible? I'm gonna say... Well, I'm actually pretty good at Donkey Kong. Let's see how this goes. It's been a hot minute. So. Sans. Nah, I don't have Sans. I don't even have the skin for Sans. I'm cheap. I didn't buy any of that stuff. The only DLC I have, as far as I know, is Banjo, because I love me some Banjo-Kazooie. Did you? Wait, which year? 17 or 18? They're sort of blending together at this point. It's a little hard to remember. That's right. Now, you may be asking yourself, how could he lose to a Ganondorf player? And the answer may surprise you because it's quickly and easily. Just watch the stream. Oop. Nope, still alive somehow. Let's just get the spin punch. Also, Jack's Logic, it's good to know that people are just finding us on YouTube, because we have almost 1,000 subscribers on this channel, but we haven't really done much to develop it, just because we've always been sort of more Facebook-based. It works better for the music thing, but in the last couple months, Goodwin and I have been trying to ratchet up on the YouTube front, and gaming just seemed to be kind of a natural fit for that, because we play video games anyway. And I like to think we're kind of funny when we're together. Clearly, we aren't when we're not, or at least I'm not. But that's okay, because this is just a test. No pressure. Whatever. It's like walking on the beach. Hit the beach with a brutal ass whooping. Speaking of brutal ass whoopings, there we go. Woohoo! Spin punch. There we go. Ooh. Well, it was worth it. It's worth it to put him down for the count. Just get those punches in. I'm sure he's going to suicide me off the ledge. That's okay. Trace is here. You can walk across the front. It's pretty low stakes. Quite literally backstabbing. Oh, there we go. And again, I know you're all watching the stream wondering, how is he going to blow it? The answer may surprise you. Because the answer is quickly and, or maybe not. Yeah! KO time. All right. Is anybody actually watching, or is it just... Lots of comments. Also, Sega is Leno. It's less than $1, I think. 19. Oh, yeah, that's right. You played it in 2019, too. Comic-Con. You should play Nicky the Home Alone Golf Ball. It's a rage game on the Switch for less than $1. Nicky the Home Alone Golf Ball. So I'll look into it. I don't need to rematch that guy. I already proved my combat superiority. Barely. Ass whooping 101 with Raspberry Pi. Fun. Let's see. Who else are we gonna play as? Let's do. Let's bam it up a notch. Let's do Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, Jack's Logic, I don't know how streaming on YouTube really works. This is sort of our first foray into it, but if you have any pro tips you can share, please don't fight the urge. I'm sure there is an ideal time at which to stream. Play Isabelle. All right, I'll play Isabelle next. Let me start off with some Banjo though, because we're already here. There we go. Neutral air. I'll never see this coming. Beautiful. Slow. There we go. Then we're on side B. And a little bit of forward A. I'm just naming the directional attacks that I'm executing. Not particularly exciting, but that's okay. Death for me. I'll check the comments in a second. If I seem inactive, it's only because I'm one guy and it's kind of hard to check comments and also play this game at the same time. We'll get there eventually. There we go. One. We got one KO. That's right, get him into the combo. Egg to mix it up. Let's see if we can gimp his recovery. Not enough, it would seem. And some death for me. Cool. What's the comment section looking like? It's weird being the only person on stream and talking through a person. Justice for Waluigi and Smash. You know, but here's the thing. What would his moveset be if you actually had Waluigi in Smash? This is the thing. Because he doesn't really have any games off of which to draw a moveset. because he's kind of made to be the crappiest, worst character ever. And not that he's not great, like he is, but... Although I suppose you could make the same claim for Princess Peach. But at least she's been in one solo outing or two by herself. Oh, that's right. You can dress her in a little Happy Home Association getup. Well, I'll keep her in the classic print. Incidentally, anybody in the... what are her moves even? Anybody out in the audience, which is to say all one or two people, have you watched any of the Raspberry Plays videos? If so, do you have a favorite? Okay, here we go. I have no idea how to play Isabelle. In fact, I don't know that I've ever actually even played Villager. But you know, we'll see how this goes. I am told her, yeah, her side B is very brutal. Oh, and she uses a net for grabs. That's cute. I think her B allows her to pick up projectiles. But then, this is Roy, so I don't think that's really an issue. Come on. This for you. And there he goes. All right. One life down just by virtue of blind luck. We'll do that. Yeah, the thing with Waluigi is he has nothing on which to draw. Although I saw somewhere that he might be based on Spike from the game Wrecking Crew, which another game that I've never played. I should, because I think it's on the classic NES series for Nintendo Switch, which I do have, which is how we've been playing things like classic Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 1 and Punch-Out. Which have all been fun playthroughs. That's actually might be my favorite. Those and Doom are probably the favorites of the ones that we've done, at least for me. Certainly the most substantial. I guess Doom is probably the most substantial because there's actually a chance I might beat that game. Because I've done it before. Whereas, oh, River City Ransom. That's right. Beat that on the show. Whoop. I just realized I have no idea how to counter this guy. I am going to die. There's nothing I can do to stop it. Or at least it would seem that way. Yep. And some death for me. Do you think Animal Crossing is a metaphor for death? Possibly. How so? Me and my friends are making a meme Smash Bros. With Filthy Frank and iDubbbz. I don't know what those are. I love the Tetris for some reason. A lot of people like that Tetris game, our Tetris episode. Not sure why. I think it's just funny because I'm talking about Donkey Kong pooping while Goodwin is actually trying to concentrate and play the game. And doing a pretty good job of it, considering I'm just being stupid in the background. Okay, let's play as Incineroar. Who to play as Incineroar? Do I think Animal Crossing is a metaphor for death? No, if anything, I feel like it's a stand-in for real life, especially now, in these trying times of Mattress Town's going out of business sale. Because we can do all the things in Animal Crossing that we would normally do in everyday life, but we can't because of the going out of business sale at Mattress Firm. If you catch my drift. And those prices are just outrageous. You don't want to get hit with a sticker price. Otherwise, you might wind up in the hospital for up to 2 weeks with a respirator. The symptoms are truly severe. From the clearance sale, that is. There we go. Yeah. Again, full disclosure. Basically, no clue as to how I'm supposed to play Incineroar. I know he's got like the counter thing that builds up a little power, so we'll try that. And just try not to get killed. Ooh, he's got a strong forward smash, though. Seen that Walker Texas Ranger, dude. Like that Walker. Smash him down. And I have no vertical recovery, so death comes for me swiftly. Is he gonna cheat me out and try and suicide me off the ledge at some point? Because that's really what it feels like. Smashing right into it. There we go. Up there. Surprising with another up B. Throw him up. What the blast ceiling is on this level. I want to say it's pretty low. Come on. Nice dose of murder for you. Whoop. Whoop. Come on. 40 seconds left on the clock. Can you seal the deal and just kill him even one more time? Assuming no, but maybe yes. Come on. Oh, come on, that should have flatlined him. Do. Okay, now we just stay alive for 10 seconds. And then we go into sudden death, where I will certainly lose. No! Fuck. Really? Do you have a creepy video game theory or any video game theory? It's hard to say off the top of my head. I always like to think... It's hard to say. I never think about video games that much when I'm not playing them. I always have a theory that Garrison Keillor from Very Home Companion would have been the perfect voice for the Deku Tree. Of course, now Garrison Keillor's in trouble for, I think, basically just being a creep. This is how hip I am. You can tell my references are super on point because I'm talking about Very Home Companion, which is totally with the current zeitgeist. That's absolutely what the kids are into. Oh, I actually got it this time. There we go. Head butts. And little foot butts. And little dodge butts. And little roll butts. And little grab butts. And little throw butts. Everything butts. Little jam butts, little triple punch butts, and little knee butts, and little failure butts, and cigar butts. Sorry, now I'm just naming different kinds of butts. Some of them aren't even real. They're just words that I made up. Woohoo! One down, one to go. Punchies. Let's see if I can get her to hit me with the counter. It's my understanding doing so at the right time. Giving a huge power boost. My timing apparently is not so great. Come on, what you got? Death for me. Ooh. Arcane punch there. Come on. Come on. I can land one hit on me with this. We'll be good to go. That is looking not super like. Oh, oh! Come on. There we go. All right, okay. Yes! Yeah! Do you have a weird story with a band? With any band or with Raspberry Pi, or like a band that we met? Weird story. I know when we were in Jacksonville back in January, we were playing with a couple local groups, as you do when you're from out of town. And it was very weird, because Goodwin and I are in our mid to upper 20s. I'm pretty sure at least one of our opening acts was comprised of dudes who were like I don't know if any of them were even old enough to drink. It was that young. Or there was the time that we were in Tampa for Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and we played... Is this the same person? Did I choose to rematch this person? I can't even remember. I'm running on very little sleep, so if I seem a little dodgy, that's why. Yeah, we played a club in Tampa during Tampa Bay Comic-Con 2017, which I'm 99% sure had been converted from a strip club in like the previous 6 months. So it was like July of 2017 when we played this. It couldn't have been. It must have been a titty bar as late as like May of 2017, because I mean everything was still there, like the platform for the featured dancer and like the poles, but it had been converted into quote unquote a music venue. I don't even know if it's still there, and it's Tampa, which apparently I found this out after the fact, is basically the strip club capital of the world. You would think it'd be New York or something, but no, it's Tampa. So it would make sense that it would be a former strip club, but that was a great show too, because we played to an audience of exactly nobody, and the club was huge too. Like it's a former strip club, so you could fit like a good 300-400 people in there on a good night, and it was weird because the stage, again, you could tell it was made for like a featured dancer or something, and Goodwin and I were up on one platform. Zach was not there that night, so it was me, Goodwin, and Nick. And we were on the sort of the announcer's platform, or like one of the party platforms where you just have guests or something, or like a VIP section. And then we insisted that Nick play saxophone, mic'd up on the lower platform, on the like the featured dancer platform, where like, you know, you give it up for Rebecca, like that kind of stripper, like that kind of person would dance. So Nick was down on the stripper pole playing saxophone, while Goodwin and I were like 10 feet above him in the VIP section, and it was had the distinction of being one of the strangest and also one of the shortest Raspberry Pi sets. I think we played exactly 3 songs, and we didn't jam them out or anything. Like, we got those songs over, because usually we stretch our songs when we play live. We did not do that at this Tampa show, at this former titty bar, where also the AC was broken, and not sure if any of you at home know, but Tampa in July, very hot and very disgusting and very swampy. So they had these giant industrial fans, which honestly, like, they didn't make it any cooler. They just blew the hot air around, or just blew the humidity around and made you feel worse. So we're just playing, and we're trying to like warm up over the monstrous noise of these fans, just like it's like being inside an aircraft carrier, like inside a hangar or something. That also was, I guess, a titty bar at one point. The USS Peppermint Stripe, if you will. Yeah, so that was a weird one. There was another show where it was me and Zach and Nick. Goodwin could not be there for some reason. And it was here in Orlando. I will not name the venue, which is now defunct anymore. I don't think it exists anymore. Okay, so they were doing musical acts inside, but then also outside at the same time, and they were not... You have to understand, we were one of the inside acts, but the indoor stage was, I would say, no more than 10 feet away from the outdoor stage. So all the music that was happening outside, you could hear it inside. It didn't do anything to mitigate the sound. So it's basically two bands playing on top of each other at the same time. And it was just a really shady location, and to top it all off, Zach was having a real bad toothache that night. Like, his teeth were just killing him. He needed to go to the dentist or something, just hadn't gone. And the one thing in the world that was going to make him happier than anything else in that moment was just, like, some cold water with some ice in it, just to like, bring down the swelling, calm his tooth down. And I remember him going on. First of all, we were supposed to play at 11, and we got there at, like, 10, and they were going, great news, you're going to close out the night at 2. It's like 2 a.m., and I had a flight to get on the next morning to go to Canada at, like, 6 a.m., so I'm like, that's not happening. So it was a weird night, but worst of all, I remember Zach going, okay, I'm just going to check out, and I'm going to go get some water at this, at the bar, and Zach comes back with the saddest look in the world on his face, and he just goes, water is $1. And he was so, like, just tap water. Like, it wasn't even special bar water or anything. So he begrudgingly paid his $1, and then I think basically what you were paying $1 for was a glass of ice. Zach got a glass of ice. And then, instead of getting water from the bar the rest of the night, he just went into the bathroom and, like, threw tap water in the cup. He's like, yeah, I paid for the ice. The water is bullshit. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, those are some weird... It's funny, the weirdest band stories tend to come about when it's just three of us, when, like, one person is missing from the group. Well, people were partying in both venues. What's your favorite video game and why? That's a good question. What's your favorite video game, Jack's Logic? Why don't you tell me what your favorite video game is? Well, I probably lose to this Cloud player, as I often do, especially when playing Rob, because I have not played as Rob a hot minute. I don't know. Of all the video games I've played, are we talking contemporary or from any era? If we're going contemporary, loved Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece game. Love that thing. I think Goodwin and I probably mentioned this at some point in one of the Raspberry Plays videos, but I would argue that there will never be a greater paradigm shift for the Zelda franchise, probably in my lifetime, than the move to 3D, which would be Ocarina of Time, which incidentally might just be my favorite Zelda game, if for no other reason, because I have, like, nostalgia vision for it, and you know, and that's a big deal. Before that, Zelda games everything was in 2D. All video gaming was 2D. So like, games like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, there could be better Zelda and Mario games out there, but I don't know that, at least for millennials, or certainly millennials my age, any game will ever quite have the same impact, just because that was such a momentous thing. Games were in 2D, and then until one day they weren't. And then there was Ocarina of Time. So I'm inclined to say favorite of all time, all around, might be Ocarina of Time. Breath of the Wild is... That's a paradigm shift within the Zelda franchise. Not within gaming as a whole, but within the franchise, certainly. Just because so many of those conventions of Zelda games, and especially 3D Zelda games, got turned on their head a little bit, which I really love. And someday soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, we will totally play Breath of the Wild on Raspberry Plays. I'm sure everybody's clamoring to see us play a game that has been out for 3 years now. But whatever. We're playing Super Punch-Out, and that's been out since I was a toddler, so doesn't really matter, I suppose. Man, speaking of vintage games, when did they decide to make Cloud so ding-dang serious? I don't remember him looking so serious in Final Fantasy VII, at least not the original version. He seemed like a much more down-to-earth dude. That's what you get when you have character designers writing dialogue and stuff, I guess. Woo! I am... Oh, I was going to say I'm actually cleaning up, but I'm not now, because he's still alive. Let's see if I can get him off the edge. Or I can just throw him up like this. Yay! Wait. By the way, is the audio coming through okay? Can you hear the game? Can you hear my voice? Is that... This is, for anyone just joining me or watching this in post, this is the first time I'm streaming, any member of Raspberry Pi is streaming to YouTube with audio. So it's very exciting. Because it's a Thursday, I'm stuck at home, got nothing else to do. Figured I'd test this setup, because it would be nice to do streaming for Raspberry Plays every now and then. That'd be nice to... Oh! Sweet. Detroit Become Human is my favorite. Ocarina of Time is amazing. They're remaking, everything checks out good, audio-wise. Sounds good on this end of things. Oh, Mike is here. Hello, Michael. Would you like to see me play as a particular character in the Super Smash Brothers? Just finished playing as, robotic operating, brethren. Beach Ball. Baby. Let's do... Who can... Oh, man. Who can I just be really cheap as? I'm gonna stunt on him. I'm gonna play as Daisy. And win, lose, or draw, I'm just gonna stunt on him. Oh, Roxas is here. Hello, Roxas. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts and whatnot. How are you, man? Just none of the many, many Fire Emblem characters with the swords. Oh, man. There are entirely too many Fire Emblem characters. Although Byleth, the most recent Fire Emblem character, surprisingly does not wield a sword. So good on them. It only took them 18 tries to make a Fire Emblem character that didn't rely on a sword. Even Robin, who was not supposed to rely on sword play, still basically uses a sword most of the time. Now, fun fact, I do very much enjoy Daisy's character design, as I've said on previous Raspberry Plays. I feel like she is the most New Jersey of all the Nintendo characters. I'm not particularly skilled in playing as her, so I'll get back to talking a little bit more after I've thoroughly had my ass kicked. There we go. See what I mean? There we go. That... Oh, she had a counter, though. Block him with the toad, I guess. Yeah! Yeah, just that accent. He's like, yeah! Hi, I'm Daisy! Is this the bus that goes to the Marriott? I could see her saying that in her, like, mid-60s. Wait. I just need to... Wait, I just need to get him off the stage, and I can do it. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Stunting on him. Game recognized game. Let me just turn towards him. Stunting. Then I pick up the radish. He's looking a little flummoxed. I'll throw it at him. Here we go. Okay, round 2, y'all. Housequake. yeah, again, I have almost no idea how to play competitively with Daisy, so don't worry, it should all be over soon. Yep. Also, she doesn't really have any, like, KO moves. It's not like playing as Donkey Kong or something where you can go to 5 or 6 different things with which to KO your opponent, like spike them or something. I don't really know what those moves are for her. It's more technical with Peach and Daisy. I say all these things like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. I really don't, but that's okay. Yeah, so the question is favorite video game. I think I gave my answer, but favorite video games from the audience. What are you guys feeling? What's your favorite video game? It can be current, it can be classic. Oh! Are we gonna get a KO out of this? So close. Or maybe, Dave? And death comes quickly for me. I'm just gonna stunt on him one more time. There we go. Woohoo! Come on. Come on, just do it. You know you can. There we go. Oh my god, I killed him! Well, that's probably all the providence that's gonna come my way. Denzer. You've got to be shitting me. Woo! Yeah! Nice, more fans. Awesome, dude. I wish they'd bring Sora into Smash with the Roxas skin. Probably won't happen, though. You know, if you can get Rare and Nintendo to work together again after Microsoft bought them, you would think that, like... And Kingdom Hearts has been on Nintendo systems. So you would think it could happen, but I guess not. So Raspberry, what was the first band you ever played in? This is it, man. You're looking at it. I've only ever... Yeah, that's my secret, Cap. I've only ever been in one band, and that band is Raspberry Pi. Now, that band has... Raspberry Pi has looked different, throughout several slight lineup changes, but yeah, no, I've only ever been in Raspberry Pi. I've never been in any other bands, unless you count the very short-lived band that had no name, that involved me, my brother Mike, this guy Jacob, who I think was playing saxophone, and then Krith, our quote-unquote rapper. Just in case you're wondering, we were terrible. So we were fine, as I recall. We never really played anything because we didn't have a drummer, or anywhere to play, or any real initiative to do anything beyond get together for the gag. But it was fun. But that happened when I was, man, like 16, I think. I had just picked up guitar. So, yeah. Haven't really been in any other bands, I gotta say. I've played with other people. Like, I've played for Ryan for, like, some of his solo stuff. And I've backed up Tessa Marie, who's like a local singer-songwriter, a couple times. That's about it, though. I kind of just do the Raspberry Pi thing. That's sort of my shtick. I don't have much else to give musically. Everything sort of goes into this. Have you ever... What was your first band? If any. And that sounded more condescending than I wanted it to. That is a serious question, though. If you've ever been in a band, let me know. Because I would love to hear about it. There we go. Blow him up. Hit him with a combo. Get a little cheap on him. No, that should have hit. No, you. That was the Emperor from Star Wars. That's what he said. Yo. I'll do a sweet Emperor impersonation if I win this match. Like, comment, and subscribe for more sweet Emperor impersonations, because I know everybody's all about that. Which, speaking of which, did anyone see Rise of Skywalker? What'd you guys think of that? Because, oh boy. It was Well, I have many thoughts on it, but I won't. I don't know if you've seen it or not because I can't see my phone, which currently houses the comments section for me at the moment. So I won't spoil it. But get in the comments. Tell me what you thought if you saw it. And throw some spoiler tags on there for those who haven't seen it. Although I can't imagine how many people are watching this at this point. So also, it's Rise of Skywalker. Who really cares? Just do this. Let's stunt on him a little bit. Repairs are all projectiles, it seems. Come on. Get down, get down. Woohoo! Oh man. Okay, as this happens, I'm gonna do an Emperor Palpatine impersonation. It's gonna be great. That. Yup. Again, for those of you just joining me, if I sound a bit out of sorts or just like I don't have much to say, it's a little weird. I'm used to doing these with Goodwin, who is not here right now because of #social distancing. We've generally been trying to not hang out too much, which is a bummer, because, you know, it's what we do. But I was up early this morning and finally figured out how to get the streaming function going on my Elgato capture along with the audio. So I figured I'd give it a try, just see what I could do with it, which apparently involves not playing particularly well at Smash Bros. But we'll see. Emperor Pudding Face may make an appearance yet. As soon as I peck this small child to death. Although I think I'm starting to become stale here. Actually, does anyone else in the crowd play Smash Bros? Oh, death. No Emperor Pudding Face tonight. Comments. Game Like This. What's your biggest influence for your band? Yeah, you had that one girl on your first album, right? Yeah, no, she was in the first iteration of the band, the Mark I version of the band, as we like to call it. And then I traded her in. For Goodwin. I've never been in a band, still learning guitar here. Oh, that's cool. Started a band with friends. Lasted about 2 weeks, didn't take it seriously enough. Oh, man, it's hard to keep... Even when you take it seriously, it's impossible to keep a band together. It's really, really, really hard. And boy, COVID-19 doesn't make it any easier. I'm sorry, the Mattressville going out of clearance sale on mattresses doesn't make it any easier. That's what I meant to say. Rise of Skywalker, okay, spoiler, Darth Sidious looks like me when I've got more than 3 hours with coffee. Second viewing, fell asleep. A lot of messy stuff in it, though. A lot of criticism. Only really cared about the band. Well, yeah, I felt like it didn't really... I don't know. I feel like it really didn't stick the landing. And I don't really feel like that... I don't know how much of that is J.J. Abrams doing, and I don't know that any of it is really Rian Johnson's doing from, like, Last Jedi. I feel like... I don't know. It was the odd executive decision that... Yeah, we'll do a Star Wars trilogy, a new Star Wars trilogy, but we won't have it planned out in advance, which, like, look, good on them for giving artistic integrity, or giving creative freedom to their directors and writers, for better or for worse, however you feel about any of the films. At least they gave them that, kind of, until the end. But it's weird. Of all the times you would think that Disney would want to have a planned out sort of arc, like they would in the Marvel films and stuff, they actually didn't, and I feel like that sort of worked. That was sort of to the detriment of the new Star Wars movies. They're very strange when you think about them in hindsight. It's like, and granted, all the Star Wars movies are weird, and even the originals have plenty of flaws. Like, there are plenty of issues with them. And if for whatever Star Wars you enjoy or don't enjoy, that's totally fine. Like, I think it's just a good reminder that at this point in time, I don't know. It's kind of there were a lot of cool elements, but it's after watching Rise of Skywalker, it's very easy to just kind of be done with Star Wars. But man, that Adam Driver, What an actor. Is this person still playing? Okay, yes, they are. Go. Woohoo! Go. Wouldn't you know it, it's a Fire Emblem character who brandishes a sword. Spicy take here. There are a few too many of them. Oh, okay, well, there goes my... Oh, I'm actually doing pretty well with my first stock. And I want to keep that streak up. Actually, for anybody in the comment section, before I forget, because I always want to ask, I always want to get data from our followers, our monkey friends. Have you watched any of the other Raspberry Plays videos? And if so, what was your favorite one? Or if there's like a series that you like watching, what would you want to see more of? It's always hard to get feedback on that stuff, because we're not... It's not like on Facebook where we have a really developed community. The YouTube thing is kind of new for us, so if you have anything to say about the Raspberry Plays videos, just like how we're doing, what you want to see more of, let me know, because I would actually love to hear it. But and also, if you haven't done so already, check out our cover of Being Human from Steven Universe, because that came out pretty well. Good when I did that in an afternoon. That was 3 hours of work for us. Like, I called him spur of the moment, and we just got to it, and he came up with a cool Carpenter's vocal arrangement for the last sort of 30 seconds, and that was it, man. It was a good time. Oh, and incidentally, if you like live streams and you're on Facebook, which I'm not sure if any of you are, we are actually going to be live streaming tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. On Facebook, we're going to do like a little show. So if you want to tune into that, don't bite the ear. Just give me fun. It's going to be a good time. Because we are pretty good at Facebook streams, if I do say so myself. We've gotten quite good. Or at least I'd like to tell myself. Oh, unlike Smash Bros, where I, on stream, am just not very good. Do you like Mandalorian? Haven't seen it yet, which is funny. You would think with a quarantine going on from nationwide fear of the Mattress Firm clearance sale, I would, but haven't watched it yet. Honestly, the whole trilogy and having 3 different directors was a mess. Still cool, though, just nothing like the original. The thing is that the original had 3 different directors and 3 different writers. Like, the only one that George Lucas ever wrote and directed was A New Hope. I think he just directed or just wrote Empire. Lawrence, or like co-wrote it with Lawrence Kasdan, and someone else directed it. So like, it's not out of the question to have 3 different directors for Star Wars. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and it keeps giving fresh takes. It's, you know, in the same way that the Marvel movies have different directors for different sort of characters. It keeps things fresh, or at least gives things a certain style. But I feel like if you're going to have 3 directors, there should be some sense of at least a start and end point with the story. Like, this is where we're going to start it, this is where we're going to end it. And however we get there in between is up to you, our team of writers and directors, as you can make that up as you go. On the other hand, I've never written or directed a Star Wars film, so what the hell do I know? Yeah. Let's do one more round as Ken, and then we'll sign off for the night, because I'm sure it's getting pretty silly hearing me blather on about nothing while I repeatedly lose at Super Smash Bros. Actually, that was a con idea that we had one time. When Goodwin and I do cons together these days, we do like a pairs cosplay. We'll go as Ness and Lucas from Earthbound, which if you haven't seen that, there are a couple photos of us on our Instagram profile. But one of the other ideas we'd floated around for a while was going as Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter, because we kind of have the hair going already. We would just basically just need red and white gis, respectively. But I think that was ultimately why we decided against it, just because it's, you know, it's not that spectacular or recognizable a costume. You're just, oh, two guys in karate outfits. Whereas Ness and Lucas, not only recognizable, also hilarious. Not only because we are both grown-ass men, but because Goodwin generally sports a full beard. And boy, you haven't lived until you've seen Ness, who I believe is supposed to be 10 in Earthbound, sporting, as Goodwin once put it, a whole-ass beard. Killer moves with Ken. This is upbeat, right? Yes, it is. Okay. 1-1.
Watch the flow of my movements as I demonstrate.
Can you tell I don't play as Ken a lot? Because I'm not great. Yeah.
Stand
Oh, sweet.
straight and
That
try
worked.
to keep your hips aligned with your back. Now return to your original position.
Down. It's power kick. Actually, here's a game that I remember fondly. If anyone's ever played the original Marvel vs. Capcom, when I was a teenager, they used to have a version of it at low battery. An arcade cabinet of it at an Urban Outfitters that I used to go to in the city. And I never bought any of the clothes at Urban Outfitters because they were cheap and shitty. But well, of course, the stage. But I fondly remember going in to play their arcade cabinet of I played this arcade cabinet of Marvel vs. Capcom, and it was the only thing I ever did at that Urban Outfitters. I never actually bought anything, and I loved it a lot. I got really good at it, and almost to the point where I could actually beat it pretty easily, which was pretty remarkable for me at the time, because I've never been great at fighting games, generally. But I played it a lot, and I got really good at it. And I think at a certain point they figured out that that I was only showing up to just play their arcade cabinet. Because Urban Outfitters is a clothing store, and it was kind of like a pre-hipster clothing store, so I think they had the arcade machine in there more for show than anything else. Whatever. So I guess it was sort of antithetical to what they were doing. But just to wrap that up, yeah, they had it in there, and I would show up and play it, and I think at one point they figured out I was just showing up to play it, and I was probably the only person actually playing it, so they got rid of it. And I've never been back to an Urban Outfitters since. And since the communication is basically dying, or my connection is sort of dying here, I'm just gonna log off. I'm gonna call it a night. Oh, tons of comments though. Play some horror games. We've gotten that before, actually. Listen to the playthroughs in the background, and do other stuff. I think it's cool to listen to you guys no matter what game we play, so long as you guys have fun making a good conversation. Like, it's not too enjoyable if you stress out about stuff to say, but it's cool to just listen to you guys talk and chill like friends. We do that a lot. I have a photo of you and Ness's Lucas. That's right! If it was Comic-Con 2019, you would have... Yeah, you would have a photo of that. I think part of it is that you guys still be playing me. Shane, whilst in my mind, I think of how much I enjoy watching and listening to the game rap, because the chemistry is amazing. Yes, it is. Time, like roast, time. Definitely, you guys got the chemistry. Just getting used to playthroughs is the way. But yeah, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. No, happy to have the feedback. Seriously, loves the red from horror. Watch him get scared and Goodwin laugh and stuff. Might be the other way around. I think Goodwin might be a bigger sucker for horror than me. But will that hold true? We'll find out. But not this time. Another time. On the next Raspberry Plays. Thank you for joining me for this first test stream. Because we had more than one viewer, it automatically means it went better than I could have ever imagined. And until next time, stay groovy, and watch out for the clearance sale at Mattress Firm. If you wind up with a tag on you, please seek medical attention as soon as possible. Bye!